Hello, friends, and welcome to the first annual Republic High School Bob Ross Art-a-thon. Today we are going to be watching some of our little friends paint happy scenes for all to enjoy. Right now I'd like to introduce you to my special friend, Holly Goodwin. As you can see here, Holly is dressed as a lovely painting with hair the color of fiery autumn leaves. Holly, can you tell us a little bit about what we're trying to do today?
Yes, thank you, Tim. I'm glad to. So, we have these amazingly talented art students at Republic High School who have graciously donated their time and their creativity, let's say, to creating Bob Ross paintings for a fundraiser. So what they are doing, they are all dressed like Bob, the best virtual art teacher of all time. They are creating their own versions of his paintings and are going to donate those paintings to our Fine Arts Night, Monday, May 3rd. It's for a silent auction. But also this video is going to be put on YouTube to help encourage people to give to the Fine Arts Department for installing a new kiln, getting new art supplies, and also just to support the arts in general. So you can be able to find that on YouTube, Repmo Art. And also, you can also find it on our Facebook page.
Well, thank you very much. That was a wonderful little introduction. As the show progresses, we're going to do artist interviews, and occasionally we'll be plugging some Bob Ross specialties that we've acquired over the years. Now, we're going to turn you loose so you can watch the show. Thanks. Bob Ross hot chocolate in phthalo blue. The taste is no accident. Hi, Kara. How are you?
I'm good.
Great. Kara, I just want to ask you a few questions. How do you feel during the process of making art?
I don't know. It's a combination of relaxation and panic because, trying to make something that looks good, but it's also a lot of fun to do art.
Now, is that pressure you put on yourself, or do you feel that others put that pressure on you?
Definitely pressure I put on myself.
And does that help you make better art?
Yeah, sometimes.
Well, just remember, whenever you're stressing out about it, what does Bob Ross say? There are no mistakes, only
happy accidents.
Thank you, Kara. Friends, we're here with Piper Ray. Piper, what does your sketchbook look like?
It's very messy and disorganized and covered in many different kinds of art supplies.
But sketchy and disorganized, that's okay, right?
Yep, that's very much okay.
Not everything has to be perfect or organized. Piper is a great example of this. Now, Piper, how does art make your life better?
It really helps me de-stress and get a lot of my ideas onto paper a lot of the time.
That's great. Does it, so it helps you just express yourself more?
Yeah, it really does.
Lastly, How has Mrs. Goodwin helped you in your art journey?
She's really pushed me this year, and she convinced me to kind of jump into the art deep end this year and really step out of my comfort zone, for better or for worse.
We're going to say it's for the better.
Yep.
Thank you, Piper. You're welcome. With Jewel Jones. And Jewel, how has your art style developed over time?
I used to only draw, and I used to draw only Disney characters for a long time, and then I eventually got into self-portraits, and that developed into painting, but it took a while.
Why is art a big part of your life?
I think it's a big part of my life because I think it's a good way to express myself because I'm not very good with words. So
That's quite all right. And what is your preferred media and why?
I'd say now it is painting, but it used to be drawing. I just recently started painting a few years ago, so.
Now, I've seen some of your paintings, and they are incredibly expressive. Do you use those to help express yourself?
Yes, I do.
That's fantastic. Thank you for your time, Joel. Bob Ross soap, the joy of bathing. Just so you know, no squirrels were harmed in the making of this soap. This portion of the show is brought to you by Bob Ross Mints. You can't tell, but my breath is fabulous.
Easy it is to incorporate your own style and to also just have fun with it. It doesn't have to be perfect or look exactly like the picture, but whatever you want to do, it's your own creative style, I guess.
So it lets you be yourself more.
Yes, exactly.
What is your favorite painting you have created?
My favorite painting that I created was a painting I made for my sister. It was based off of a song, and so I had to just come up with random designs basically that I felt fit the song, which I had never done before. I usually had done more realistic paintings. So that was really cool, and it was really sentimental for my sister and I gave it to her for a Christmas gift last year.
That's very sweet. Now, how do you feel when you are painting?
When I'm painting, I just feel like all stress just goes away. I can just be myself. I'm kind of a perfectionist in some ways, so with schoolwork and other stuff, I try to have it so perfect, but when I'm painting, I can still incorporate that, but also have my own fun with it and just let go of everything else.
That's great. Thank you, Tyra. I really appreciate it. When did you first discover you like to paint?
It's probably last semester in Miss Goodwin's first art class.
And what was your feeling the first time that you actually completed a painting? Because I know it can be a struggle when you first start.
It felt like really good, like you can accomplish something, you can make something pretty.
We were talking earlier. Folks, we're joined here by Jada, who is a lovely little artist. Jada, I would like to ask you, what discoveries have you made this year relating to art?
So I recently have found out that I really like mixing media than rather just focusing on a single painting or something like that. I've doing a lot more sculptures and stuff like that involves different medias that I've been able to put together all in that one.
Now, for those of you who don't know, Jada has made a tree sculpture. You call it Tree of the World, right?
Yes.
And it is basically the size of Jada. Now, Jada, sorry, but that's actually true. What has been the most challenging art media for you?
That's probably gonna be, again, sculpture, because I've never done it before this year. That it was just a huge learning curve that I had to go through.
friends. We're here with Holly Goodwin, the art teacher at Republic High School. And I just have a couple of quick questions. Holly, why do you do the kind of things that you do that make something like the Bob Ross Art-a-thon possible?
Well, I'm all about fun. I'm all about art. What's more fun than 20 people dressing up as Bob Ross and painting together? But also, I like doing things outside the box. I'm all about that. So I think being creative is great, but doing things like this that bring artists together as a group is even more important.
What's your favorite memory of one of my paintings?
So when I was a kid, my brother and I were both wanting to be professional artists when we were in elementary school back in the 80s when Bob's show was on every day. And the only way we were allowed to eat lunch and watch TV at the same time, which was like a big deal, was if Bob was on. So if Bob Ross was playing, I would get my little strawberry shortcake, TV tray. My brother would get his Return of the Jedi TV tray with our lunch, and we would get to watch Bob for half an hour. So that's my best memory.
Now, Holly, was there something special you would say when I would place a tree trunk right down the middle of one of my favorite paintings? What was it that you would cry out to the TV?
Bob, don't do it. You're going to ruin everything. We were so, my brother and I would get so mad at him. He would just be like, let's put a happy little tree. And then he would smear black paint all the way down this beautiful background he just painted. But at the end, it always looked great. Bob saved it. He made it look amazing. So we would always say, Bob, don't do it.
Well, thank you for this special time, Holly. I'm sure everyone will enjoy this little discussion of ours. You have a great day. Bob Ross bookmarks. These are magnetic. Just remember, if trees are your friends, then so are books. This portion of the show is brought to you by Bob Ross Sticky Notes, for when you need to leave a happy little note for someone. George. Now, Emma, how has your artistic skill increased since your freshman year?
So freshman year, I was with Miss Goodwin, and she has really pushed me really hard. I have increased my skills by really looking at my detail, picking out the best brushes for certain art, and just kind of working bigger and stepping back from the painting to really get the full picture. And I just keep pushing and pushing myself to make more art and just better myself every day.
That sounds really wonderful. If you could choose to stick with one art media, what would it be and why?
I think I would stick with painting, just because you could do fun stuff like this all the time. You can paint almost wherever you want, whenever you want. Whenever I say wherever you want, it's almost like you're in the painting itself and that you're in that area. And it's almost like you're traveling in a way. I love painting and choosing new scenes every day because I capture that beautiful moment and I can always keep it.
Lastly, Emma, what has been the hardest art project that you're working on or have finished?
So currently I'm working on a stained glass project, but it's more abstract than traditional stained glass. I have a piece of driftwood that's hollow in the inside and it has holes on the outside, and I'm configuring stained glass into a natural organic way into the holes of the log, and I'm going to put lights in it, and it's going to look really pretty, and it just kind of shows off the piece itself. So I'm really excited.
I just know that's going to be beautiful. Thank you, Emma. We're now here with Emma Sauser. Emma, what impact has being an artist had on your life?
Oh, it's kind of changed my life a lot for the better, mostly because when I was in middle school, I was in a really dark place, and it was a creative outlet for me, and it let me express what was inside without me having to explain, because I'm not very good at explaining things. That's why I stick away from journalism, because I can't put words on paper. I can just kind of more put my feelings on a canvas.
That's really common, I think, is the ability of art to allow people to get out what's inside without needing input from anybody else. It just lets you be who you want, and you can put it on the canvas or on the paper, and then you can be done with it sometimes and move on. That's really great. If you could give advice about art, what would it be?
To practice over and over and over. Even if you just if you need a moment, you can take a moment because you don't want to burn out. But you do want to make sure that you don't procrastinate and take it off, because then you'll never get better if you don't try.
Art is one of those things that you can, if you put in the work, you can just get better. I mean, that's what you're saying, right?
Yeah, I'm saying that it's not just skill or talent or whatever people want to say. There may be a factor of that, but it's mostly just if you want to try for it, then go for it. It's not limited to any one person.
That is great advice. How has art changed you throughout your life?
Well, like I mentioned, it has helped me grow and get out of places, but it's also helped me become the person I am today, because I used to be a lot more reserved and shy, but I'm a lot more outgoing.
I'm here with Drew. Drew, what do you love most about Bob Ross?
I think I really love his positivity. I feel like he's kind of one of those people that if you're struggling to go to bed, I always put his videos on if I can't go to sleep, because they're really soothing. If I've had a bad day or I'm stressed, they're also nice. He's just a positive person that helps you kind of figure out the good things about life instead of focusing on all of the negativity. So, yeah.
Yeah, there's a different way that kids talk about it nowadays when you're talk about vibing and stuff like that. Bob's vibes are only good vibes. Yeah. They're only ever positive. Sure. They make me feel good too. What do you think why do you think he is popular again these days?
Honestly, I feel like a lot of people secretly want to get into painting, and seeing somebody be able to accomplish that in 30 minutes, even if you don't end up actually doing it, it kind of makes you feel like he did it in a TV show, I could do it too. Plus, he's just so positive. Everybody there's a reason he's on socks and shirts and everything, even though you don't really know anything about him. He's kind of just one of those things that everybody likes to hear about.
Yeah, I think Bob Ross is one of the he's like a Mr. Rogers,
yeah,
kind of where he just seems like somebody that you wish was your uncle.
Yeah.
Or that neighbor next door that always had the barbecues and everybody wanted to go hang out. How has Mrs. Goodwin helped you in your art journey?
Honestly, I'm in painting 3 now, which I never really thought I would do. I kind of just picked up art as a filler class. Honestly, that's the reason I took her classes, and now I'm in love with it. It's a good way to help me cope. She's also a very positive person. Her classroom is great. I kind of feel like that's the environment that I need to be in. I'm very much a creative-minded person and not a logically-minded person. So she really helps me kind of get out of my stressful rut. She lets me do things that'll help me cope. Painting helps me cope. She's helped me refine my techniques, figure out what kind of art style I want. She's just a great teacher, and the classes are great, and it's just helped me kind of find myself throughout high school.
That's really wonderful, Drew. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Bob Ross calendars so you don't miss any happy little dates.